All you gotta do is just hold it up to the door. There you go. You're in. Today I'm trying an experiment. I have an Apple Watch Ultra and I have a Rivian Generation 1, which is not going to support any Apple Watch integration to, unlock the car or anything. But I found that I like to go for runs and stuff without my phone. And then I get back to the car and I carry my key card with me usually now, but I think it would be cool to not have to carry my key card and just be able to wear my Apple Watch and use my Apple Watch to unlock the Rivian in case of emergency, or if I just don't have my phone with me or don't have my key card. So what I'm going to do today is try and dissolve this Rivian key card, and then I'm going to try and take the chip that's inside of that and sew it into this watch band so that I can just take my wrist, tap it against the Rivian handle, and then open it up if I ever don't have my key. So I've not tried this before. Hopefully it will work, and we'll see how it goes. One thing before we get started, if you decide to try and do this yourself, just know that you want to make sure the key card is paired with the car first before you start trying to do this. So make sure you have a key card that is already working with your car and everything's good to go before you take these steps. Also, I have no idea if this is allowed or approved by Rivian, so if you decide to do this, just do it at your own risk and don't get mad at me if it causes a problem. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is take my 100% acetone and pour it on the card. This is gonna be a 2-bottle job here. Take this one, pour it on there as well. Make sure it's fully submerged, and then we're gonna let that sit for, I think, about 45 minutes until it all dissolves out. As you can see now, the card is melted and is dissolving into the acetone, but I'm gonna leave it overnight for another several hours just to let it continue to dissolve all the way so that it will hopefully come out very easily. All right, so this went overnight and you can see it all kind of came apart, and now this key card has a little slit in it, and if you look in there you can see that the wire and the chip are in there. So I just need to extract those. I'm going to try and pull everything away first so there's no tension on it as I pull it out, and just try and extract that right out, and I'll set it on some paper towels. And then you're supposed to, I read somewhere, rinse it in isopropyl alcohol after you take it out. So I'm going to take this isopropyl alcohol and just give it a rinse real quick, and then set it back on this paper towel to let it dry off and make sure it's nice and dry. All right, so now we've got the extracted chip here, and I'm gonna test it out. Hold it up to the door. Hey! And hold it again. Cool. So it works. I've got my Apple Watch here, and my plan is to stitch it into the band. Let me take it off real quick so that it will kind of go, there's the watch, it'll go into this part of the band, so just kind of touch my hand against the vehicle. So I'm going to kind of slice open some of these little sections here and then fit that into it by wrapping the coils, and then stitch it back together. So now I've marked the Apple Watch with where I'm going to put the sensor. So I'm going to put the meat of it up here, and then the wires I'm going to kind of wrap around down there. All right, so you can see I marked it, and now my wife taught me how to snip the stitches on the sides so that you can pull this whole thing up. So I'm going to pull this whole area up in between here, cut through those stitches, and then we'll put the circuit right in there, and then my wife's going to help me sew it back together. All right, so now that's all lifted up, and we're just going to kind of push this into here like that, very gently. Try and get it all in there. And then the plan is to stitch around the outside, so get all this all the way in, probably put a couple stitches in the middle, and then stitch all the way around the outside of this to keep it all contained. right, so now this side is sewed. A little pocket. Now the electronics are in there, so we'll stitch up the other side. All right, it's now sewn up on both sides. You see, sewn on that side, sewn on that side. Wouldn't say I'm gonna win any awards for sewing, but I think it should hold it together. And yep, all that, the chip is right about there, and then the antenna is kind of wrapped right like that. So all that's left to do is put the watch back on and try it out. All right, so we've got the RFID tag in there, and all you gotta do is just hold it up to the door. And there you go, you're in. And then you can start driving with it as well. So foot down, and we're driving. Cool. So yeah, all in all, I would say it's a success. It seems to be working. We'll see how it works in the long run. I didn't spray it with any type of waterproofing spray or anything like that, so I'm not going to take it, scuba diving, but I'm going to shower with it. I think passive RFIDs are supposed to be pretty resilient and somewhat waterproof, so we'll see how the longevity goes. If I was going to do it again, I'd probably spray it with something just to try and keep the water off of it. The only other thing is that when you get in the vehicle, if you've unlocked it from your phone remotely, and then I was having trouble getting the car to start holding my watch up to the inside of the car where it tells you to hold the key card, but it's not really a problem. Worst case scenario, if you can't get it started that way, you can just get out of the car, hold it up to the handle, lock it, unlock it again, and then it will let you drive away. So not really any issue there, but I'm excited to see how long it lasts, and hopefully it'll work pretty well.